inconceivable amount of money.
He's worth $105 billion, right? Which is just like, what the fuck?
He's like the 8th biggest landowner in the United States. Do you know that? He just buys...
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not stunned, though.
No, of course not. He owns 300,000 acres of Texas.
Whoa. That's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's a big slab.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure...
Balling. He's just balling out of control.
I'm pretty sure his D.C. home was either... I feel like it was either a museum or a hotel before. He was like, make that shit my house now. Like, it was like a museum. They're like, it's your house.
I wonder what he's like to hang out with, because there's a photo of him. See if you can find this photo, Jamie. There's a photo of Jeff Bezos from 1993, and he's got like a vinyl banner above his desk that says Amazon.com. And it's just him in this janky little fucking IKEA desk.
Yeah, like bad clothes.
Typing, yeah,
it's like,
kind of chubby, typing away.
And now he's like, got some muscle on
now
him.
He's jacked and tan and probably got a supermodel for a girlfriend, does he?
No, he's got a wife, 4 kids.
Regular?
Yeah.
Normal?
Yeah.
Really?
She's an author. Yeah.
How odd.
I know. Odd. He doesn't schedule morning meetings so he can hang out with the kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I read all this stuff.
I wonder why he's going so hard.
You
know, like when you hit 105 billion, you would think you'd go, we're good.
I know. I think you just start really collecting because you're like, because, you know, when he bought the Washington Post, you know, it's not like he's like, I love journalism. He's like, be cool to own a newspaper. You know what I mean? Like, at that level, you're just like, I like waterfalls. Are there any for sale or something? You know?
Well, he's got Washington Post is one of the weird ones where you get a link. Someone will send you a link and you click on it. And it's a Washington Post article, and it says, you obviously love great journalism.
That's right.
Come sign up. Like, fuck off.
They don't even give you the free reads, I feel like. New York Times will give you 10 free reads. I signed up after I kept clicking those. I was like, I better sign up. Washington Post, I feel like, click number 1. They're like, do you want to read this? Do you want to pay or not?
Yeah. I'm not paying.
Yeah. I mean, I support paying for journalism, but I feel like they should give us a taste. You know, we should get a little taste.
It's tough to trust journalism these days. It's tough to trust, like, how fucking weird your article's going to be.
That's true. Journalism's tough. Watching news has become, man, I remember when it started to skew to personality and taste.
Yeah.
Now it's like off the rails. It is off the rails.
That's where the money is.
I know, but it's like you are totally just going with who, like, you're going to watch. You can select what do I feel like leaning towards. Yeah. And then you watch that.
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Yeah, Rachel Maddow.
Yeah. There he is. Look at that picture.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes. He looks nothing like that now.
Yeah.
That's what $105 billion will do.
He's just sitting there with that Amazon.com banner.
I hope that's still hanging somewhere in his house.
Yeah, he probably shoots loads on that thing.
What do you... oh, my God. Yeah.
Crazy that he started... I remember Amazon being a book thing. Yeah. I remember being a place to buy books. And I remember thinking, how weird. Like an online bookstore. Why wouldn't you just go to the bookstore where you could see the book?
Right.
Like,
and all those bookstores shut. Like, they closed.
He killed all of them.
Yeah, there's only a few left.
Well, I know a guy who got a deal with Amazon.com to publish a book. It was like when Amazon started publishing books. And they blackballed him because of this, because he had traditional outlet deals before. And, you know, his books would be front and center in Barnes & Noble and all these other different places. He's a pretty popular author. But as soon as he went to Amazon.com, they're like, fuck you. And they just shut him out. They shut him out of all those stores. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, like there's like a weird book war going on that I didn't know about.
Well, they're both probably trying, I mean, those book people were trying to keep their business model going and thriving, you know? And
but doing it by threats is never the way to go.
Probably not, no.
I mean, the best way to go is when Amazon publishes a book that people actually want to buy in your store, you dumb fuck. Sure. Put it in your store.
You know what I hate about these super rich guys? They never in their interviews have like, the only one who will talk like what it's like to ball at that level and make it sound fun and like the things you want to ask is Mark Cuban. I've seen him in interviews be like, yeah, I got a lot of shit. and like knows that like that's a genuine curiosity for people. Like how fun is that? You have 2 747s. He's like, yeah, man, that's pretty cool, right? And he talks about it. But I saw this interview with Gates, and this guy was asking all those questions. He was like, do you have to worry about, like, when somebody asks you, like when you ask for something that someone's gonna try to ask for more because of your known wealth. He's like, my charity really is like just like dodging all those questions of like the fun shit that everyone wants to know. He just kept going back to his charity. And we're like, we know you're a fucking charitable guy. Tell us what it's like to own 6 planes, bro. Like, what kind of shit do you have? He's like this Xanadu house. It's like 70,000 square feet or something.
Well, he's got a house. I think it's on Puget Sound. It's somewhere in the Seattle area.
Yeah, I think it's Medina. Medina?
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it's called.
But it's so freaky. Look at that. Looks like you're using an ad blocker. What do you pulled up? What'd you pull up?
19 crazy facts about his house.
Oh, okay.
$123 million.
Disable your ad blocker so we could read it.
Oh my god.
So we were in Seattle, and there's this thing that's near a bridge, where you go under this bridge, and they have this these clear walls where you can see the salmon swimming up the salmon ladders. Like they have everything set up with these clear like glass walls, and you can watch it. It's really pretty badass.
Yeah.
But the guy who was there, who was the the guide of this thing, who's explaining us how this works and which kind of salmon you're looking at and the whole deal. He was like, my uncle worked on the Bill Gates house. He starts talking about Bill Gates' house, where Bill Gates' house is, and where he lives. And I remember thinking, like, how weird must it be if you're so rich that all everybody wants to do is talk about, like, hey, my friend worked on his house, his house. And I was like, well, what's it like? And he just starts describing. He goes, well, he has like some sort of a submarine access in case he's getting kidnapped. Like someone's trying to jack him. They can get in a submarine and shoot out into the river. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know even how much of that is even true, because this guy seemed like he was missing a little piece of his brain.
Yeah. So start really adding stuff to
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, how much of this is urban myth?
I know that they were reporting even like, I don't know, when that house was built 10, 15 or whatever years ago, that even back then there was shit in his house because it was super high tech of like if you walked in a room, music would play, and as you left the room, music would die down and pick up in the next room. So that, it had like, which I think you could probably, a regular person could probably do something like that now, but like that was unheard of.
Yeah, I think you wore a pin. You put a pin on, and that pin, as you walked into different rooms, recognized that you were the person. So you had specific colors that you liked. So there'd be like backlighting that was specific.
What's it like to be his kids? Like he's big on. He's the one that started that giving pledge, which is like for billionaires to give the overwhelming majority of their wealth to charity, so that you don't pass on billions to your children.
Right.
You like, so his thing is like, I'm gonna leave my kids money, but not like crazy money. It's not money. Which you're like, yeah, that's I totally get the idea behind that, but also like if you grew up with his, you're his kid, and you're like, oh, we got lions this year or whatever, and then you're like, you grow up and you're like, I'm a photographer now. My dad left me $5 million, but like
$5 million is great.
It's great, but my thing is like it's such a step down from what they're used to.
I don't feel even remotely bad for some fucking kid who gets $5 million from his dad.
I don't feel bad. What I'm saying is that adjustment has to kick you in the balls. I mean, the exposure that they've had, the lifestyle is like it's unfathomable to us. Like we can't even. It's beyond. They're just like it's like being a prince, It's like your dad's the Sultan of Brunei, and then he's like, well, go fucking. I mean, they're probably well adjusted. I don't know why I assume that, but I think that like he and his wife seem like such reasonable people that I bet they've prepared them for